Coming up on the 13th episode of Lubbock ISD Today, fourth graders from every Lubbock ISD school felt Drosselmeyer's magic watching Ballet Lubbock's rendition of the beautiful ballet, The Nutcracker.
But to see the smiles on all of their faces, and when they walk into the hall, just like, for the first time, looking around at everything there is to see them look at all of these nutcrackers, they're amazed.
And the CTE class students competed in real-world challenges at the Science Spectrum, practicing their problem-solving skills in STEM.
The collaboration is huge. It's so neat to see kids that would otherwise never interact with each other come together and bounce ideas off each other, collaborate. Some of them are really shy at first, but after the first 30 minutes, they just open up and, the kids become kids. So.
Practicing these skills at an early age preps students for the future in more ways than one. Speaking of the future, at Mackenzie Middle School, the Raiders believe it's never too early to start thinking about college, as they had their college fair this week. And at Lubbock High School, the fashion students put on a runway show at the Resale Center to promote their Christmas selection.
This year they came back and asked us if we wanted to do this fashion show again this year, and I said of course, because one thing that the Resale Center does is that it helps people all over the city.
And this week on Game Plan, we're getting ready to tip off our basketball coverage for the state-ranked match.
Chavez going to work. Step back three. This is a big one. Bang! That is huge. Aaliyah Chavez rips it down. She's at 11.
All this and more on Lubbock ISD Today.
Welcome to Lubbock ISD Today.
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 Hello and welcome. I'm Jay Aneen. She is Hannah Gilchrist. And this is the 13th episode of Lubbock ISD Today.
Like you said, Jaden, today is a rather lucky or unlucky 13th episode of Lubbock ISD Today. But as we record this episode of the show, we are just 2 weeks away from Christmas break.
That's right, Hannah. I'm quite excited, but we start the show off with some exciting news from across Lubbock ISD.
Lubbock ISD got the chance to witness the iconic play, The Nutcracker. This is something that our district has done for a long time, and it was a fun but loud experience for our students.
And the joy that comes across their faces is amazing. And I think it's just a really cool opportunity to expose them to the show in sort of a micro sense, and then letting them know, like, hey, if you want to come see more of it, there's an orchestra involved, and there's this, and it's longer, and it's all these things. And it's just a really cool opportunity to be in the hall.
You know, I used to perform in the Nutcracker, and I think it's so special that our younger students get the chance to be a part of something so iconic here in Lubbock.
Absolutely. And keeping it with the arts, Monterey High School Orchestra held their annual Christmas concert. Our own Isiru Laura captured this footage for us, and it was a night filled with holiday tunes, featuring the concert orchestra, the Philharmonic Orchestra, and the Symphony Orchestra.
My favorite part is definitely the music we're playing, because they're so iconic, so everyone is going to be able to understand what songs we're playing, when we're playing them, even without us having to say what we are playing.
And one kind of performance, and if you're interested in seeing one of our school concerts, check out their school websites.
And over at Talkington School for Young Women Leaders, they held their STEAM Challenge, where they competed in their sister school in YWPN. This was an internal competition for middle school and high school students so that they can advance to the state level. Students competed in various STEAM challenges with the prompt of helping fix a problem that could affect future generations.
Avarita and our project was creating an app that improves people's mental health by giving them volunteer opportunities aligned to their interests.
So our app is called Viridis. It means green in Latin because Allison wanted to have the word green in our project, but everything was trademarked, green mind, green thumb. So she went to Google Translate and just put it in Latin. And so Viridis is an app that technically is all about you. It's about your own mental health. So it asks you what you want to do, what makes you happy, what lets you de-stress. And based on that, it gives you a service project that is tailored just for you. so that you can help your community, but also do something that helps your own mental health.
I love how they had to be creative in coming up with a new name.
And over at the Science Spectrum, Lubbock ISD Career and Technical Education hosted their 3rd annual CTE STEM Challenge. The challenge included 300 middle school students that represented 10 middle schools, and they competed to solve the real-world challenges that were provided by Texas Tech.
Yeah, I think the competition aspect of it is huge. It really gets some of the kids that otherwise wouldn't be too motivated to get really excited, and it helps them pull together when they mix up on the second activity. They're with other schools, and so because of the competition aspect, it makes them have to talk and have to get to know each other, and it's what drives it. We're waiting to see the final results at the end of the day, so it's a neat thing.
From what I understand, that is one of the middle schoolers' favorite days of the year, and you can see why.
You really can. And keeping it at our middle school ranks, we say it all the time, it's never too early to start thinking about your future. And over at the home of the Mackenzie Raiders, they spent their entire Avid family night talking about our students' futures. They had schools, scholars, and various careers there that night, just to get their students thinking about their futures.
As far as today went, we prepared career and college posters, and so they had to pick a major that they were interested in and then find a career that they felt was interesting enough for them to pursue in the future, and they made a poster about that, and they had a few requirements that they had to meet, and so that's about it for today. But as far as Avid goes in general, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it.
Thinking about their future, you love to see it.
You really do. And while coming your way after this commercial break, we have sports with Rain and Ford, we have new scoreboards, we get into that coming up.
But first, we showcase more news from around our district. Specifically, my home campus had a lot going on. We get into that coming up. But before we go to break, the weather looks to be really interesting this week.
That's what I heard too.
So let's ask Jaden Gonzalez, what's the word? What's the weather looking like today?
Well, today we had a cool morning, but things warmed up a bit currently. We are sitting at 73 degrees, but when the sun goes down, we are going to see the temps dip once again. And coming up later in the show, we will have more weather, but until then, we hope you enjoy some of our happy holiday videos.
So what does happy holidays mean to you?
Well, happy holidays to me means sharing good memories, being with family, and then also giving of myself instead of receiving.
Oh, happy holidays, man. That means time to celebrate, to relax, to get to enjoy time with family and friends, and I don't know, just embracing the spirit of the holidays.
To me, happy holidays means just a time to kind of think through the year and celebrate the people around you and as the year comes to a close.
This year we challenged our audio engineers to not be audio muters, but rather audio mixers. But we didn't know how much it was going to change the job.
12% in. I was able to go live.
Oh, yeah. Watch out, we might have the next generation of audio engineers.
So every child, every day in Lubbock ISD means that from the time children start with us in pre-K until the day they graduate from high school, every child has the opportunity to access high-quality programming that will prepare them for their future and so that they can be successful as adults.
Welcome to the 13th episode of Lubbock ISD Today. At the desk, we have Jaden Eaton and Hannah Gilchrist. Weather with Jaden Gonzalez. Sports with Rainin Ford. And Tuned In with Dilly Trevino. Now we toss it back to the show as we continue the 13th episode of Lubbock ISD Today.
Welcome back to Lubbock ISD Today. We hope you enjoyed the beginning of our Happy Holiday commercials. I know we have some pre-K kids coming up in one of our next commercial breaks. And we pre-K kids are involved. Those videos are so adorable.
Yes, they are. And we'll be seeing more of them soon, but first we want to continue to showcase some stories from around our district. Students from the Lubbock High School Fashion Program put on a fashion show at the Resale Center. This is the second straight year that they have done this, and the whole goal is to help their community partner. Get this, all of the proceeds that the Resale Center gets goes directly to helping people all over Hub City. And that's why the Lubbock High Fashion class is so passionate about this annual fashion show.
While the Resale Center goes into the funding here goes into Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities helps elderly with dentures, and so this is going to benefit so many people. I also heard from our lovely ladies that work at Catholic Charities that they also have a food pantry for the homeless. They not only have that, but they also have a hygiene a place for people to come and get their hygiene items for the homeless. So I love what they do. I believe in it, and our students are here helping with that community service.
'Tis the season of giving and giving back. Great work by my Westerners.
And keeping it with your Westerners, they recently hosted their open house, but not for their high schoolers, but for their up-and-coming 8th graders. They had demonstrations and booths set up all over the campus to showcase all the great clubs, organizations, and teams at Lubbock High. It was a great day to be a future Westerner.
I'd probably say like one of the best parts of this event and like the best parts about being Lubbock High is just the culture over here. Everyone's like super friendly. It's a very tight-knit community. All of us share a common goal and we all like want to share good experiences.
Nicholas is right. We have a great community at Lubbock High and all of our Lubbock ISD schools.
Absolutely. Hey Hannah, are you ready to take another step in this 13th episode?
Sure thing. Let's head on over to the Tuned In Desk with Dilly Trevino as he joins us with all of our lifestyle news.
That's right, that's right. Thank you so much, Hannah and Jaden. It feels weird not being up there anchoring, but I'm super excited to be here on Tuned In today because boy, do I have some juicy news to share with all of you. Don't worry, none of it involves Taylor Swift, but we do have intel on other rock stars. Ever wonder how many more farewell shows the band Kiss is going to perform? Well, the one that happened last Saturday in New York was their Kiss goodbye to live performing. Keyword live because even though they won't be physically there to play, they're not necessarily gone for good. The 5 stars have gone virtual. That's right, Kiss has turned to true immortality by playing shows using digital avatars of themselves. They're said to become the first US band to become fully virtual. How crazy is that? Now, saying that they're guitar heroes won't necessarily be an exaggeration. Speaking of New York, are you a fan of the movie Home Alone? Well, it's that time of the year again to be busting out all the Christmas classics, but what if I told you that instead of watching the movie, you could have a Kevin McAllister adventure of your very own in real life? The famous Plaza Hotel in New York is offering a very special Christmas gift to guests who've always wanted to experience the movie for themselves. And trust me when I say this package has everything, from getting to eat all the food you've drooled over from watching the movie, and not to mention getting to see all the main filming locations such as Empire State Building, Rockefeller Center, Central Park, Carnegie Hall, and Radio City Music Hall. And that's not all the adventure we have to speak of here on Tuned In, because take a look at this. A stuffed piggy has an antic of its own when it ends up stranded at a hospital after a 6-year-old girl named Eloise Doan gets a surgical procedure. Scared and alone, the stuffed piggy was without hope. At least that was the case until this nurse, Phoebe Stritz, found it and decided to make it her own little sidekick. The plush followed Phoebe around the hospital for an entire day and got to learn all about medical stuff, surgical stuff, and just around nursey kind of things. Then when the little girl returned to retrieve her stuffed animal, she got to hear all about the happenings and quests from a book that the nurse put together documenting the antics while the little piggy was by her side. And do you guys remember that Inside Out 2 trailer that we all saw as kids? Well, your dreams have come true. Because I'm sure you already heard about this, but Pixar came out with an Inside Out 2 sneak peek. What we've seen so far, Riley's becoming a teenager and they're going to be adding a lot more zany emotions to the gang. But what was her name again? Anxiety? Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's just an extension of fear. Now, I got some crazy news for you. Did you hear about this? Did you know about this? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been teasing a 2024 presidential run. What? I guess now The Rock will be throwing hands in the political ring. I can smell what The Rock is cooking, and it's got to be good because about 46% of Americans are on board with Dwayne Johnson becoming their future president. He said in an interview that took place just a few days ago that he, quote, hasn't ruled out politics and it would be an opportunity to make a real impact on people's lives on a global scale. Would Dwayne The Rock Johnson make a good president? What do you guys think? I'll send it back over to our very own Hannah and Jaden at the desk.
Wow, I think I'd vote for Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Is it just me, or does this kind of seem like Kanye West running back in 2020?
No, I'm getting more of an Arnold Schwarzenegger vibe. Hey, Jaden, I hear we have some great weather this way.
I heard the opposite. Let's send it over to my own Jaden Gonzalez.
Jaden, what will it be, good or bad weather for us?
Yeah, Hannah and Jaden, I'd lean towards my fellow Jaden on this one. We start with our weekend forecast, and tomorrow isn't going to be a great day outside. It will be partly cloudy with high winds. The gusts could get pretty bad tomorrow, and so if you are planning on putting up your Christmas lights, I'd postpone to another day. On Sunday, our temps will rise up a bit. It will be nice and sunny, but once again, the winds will be gusting. And so, don't blow away this weekend. And now, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Monday looks to be the best day this week, as we will be in the low 50s, but that's before the potential chance of rain hits our forecast. You look at Tuesday and it will be a good day, but once nighttime comes, the clouds will start rolling in, and we will expect some drizzle that night. On Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have rain chances all 3 days by Friday of next week. The rain chances will go away by the afternoon, and we should see some sunshine later in that day. And so to answer the question, if you like unpredictable weather that includes rain, then we have some good weather on the way.
Oh man, chances of rain on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? I hope it snows.
Not me. I hope it's not cold enough for that. But thanks for weather, Jaden.
And still to come on this edition of Lubbock ISD Today, we'll take a pause and time out with Mr. Ward. What does he have for us this week? We'll just have to wait and see.
But first, we head on over to the sports set with Rainen Ford on gameplay. He's done his homework and has covered a lot in the world of sports.
And so make sure to stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.
The way I celebrate Christmas is putting up our Christmas tree, hanging decorations, and doing the star on Christmas Eve.
Christmas memory is watching Home Alone with my family.
Spending time with my family and hugging and loving.
Today we were forcing our anchors to think on the spot. Being able to ad-lib is a vital key for our anchors in case anything goes wrong. Recently, we pushed this to the extreme.
All right, anchors, we are going live.
But there's nothing on the teleprompter.
What are we supposed to do? We can't debut a new show without scripts.
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to LISD Today.
Now let's toss it to the weather.
Nothing to report on weather.
Toss to sports?
Nothing on sports.
Well, that concludes our show.
Thanks for watching, I think.
They'll get better at it. Sorry. Usually I'd have something clever to say, but there's nothing on the script.
Talk about. So we look at the fundamental of livestock animals. So primarily we're looking at beef, pork, and lamb, and poultry as well. But we're able to take full carcasses in and have students understand the mechanics and the anatomy and the muscle and meat biology of what makes those animals what they are.
What's your story? Take everything.
Hello, and welcome into Gameplay. I'm Raymond Ford, a junior from Estacado. Kobe Bryant once said, "These young guys playing checkers and I'm out there playing chess." And for some of our basketball teams, you can tell they are playing chess. And so, here are the current Texas Association of Basketball Coaches' current rankings. And we find the Monterey Lady Plainsmen ranked 8th in the state in Class 5A. And in the boys' rankings, the Estacado Matadors are ranked 13th in the state. The boys from the Big East say tradition never graduates, and it looks to be true. Keeping it on the hardwood, we are excited to announce that we are set to tip off our basketball coverage next week as the 18th ranked Lubbock Cooper Lady Pirates visit the 8th ranked Monterey Lady Plainsmen next Friday. First tip is at 6 p.m. and you can watch our coverage on Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. And something you might notice if you go to one of these games this season is the brand new scoreboards in all of our gyms. They all have similar designs and they look fantastic. Make sure to take note of the new scoreboards at the next Lubbock ISD home game you attend. And over at Pete Ragus Aquatic Center, they are hosting the Lubbock Invitational this weekend. This is the biggest meet that we host, and so make sure to dive in and check out our swim and dive team this weekend. And just last night, Lubbock High's own Jones Lambert finished second at the Winter Junior Nationals in the 500 free. It was his personal best, and this is just a result from day one. After doing some research, we found out that the Winter Junior Nationals has all of the nation's top junior swimmers. And so that speaks to how talented Jones is. We wish him and Gunnar Hansen all the best as they continue to compete. And now we turn to our student choice stories. The day we returned from Thanksgiving break, we tasked to create something for our student choice assignment. Our own Hannah Gilchrist chose to do a sports commentary piece over an important topic. Let's take a look.
Gender inequality and inclusion in sports is a critical issue that needs to be addressed. According to The Atlantic, 88% of athletes covered by the media and press are men, and 78% of sports journalists are male. And with media coverage comes an influx of funding for both the athlete and the team or program that they play for. Female athletes across the board advocate for equal pay, sponsorship, and coverage opportunities, including Serena Williams, who calls for action in leveling out the pay difference between men and women in the United States Tennis Association. Skylar Diggins-Smith, point guard for the Phoenix Mercury, constantly voices and spreads awareness about the discrepancy in marketing and promotion that contributes to the $5.2 million base salary difference between WNBA and NBA players. So, how can we support our female athletes both on the local and national level? It's easier than you think. Attend a women's game with your friends or family, or host a watch party in order to boost women's TV sports ratings. And if you can, buy local and national merchandise. And of course, if you're willing, take a step off of the stands and onto the court of view. I'm Hannah Gilchrist with the Student Television Network, and I hope to see you at the next Lady Raiders game.
Of course, we will see some more of these student choice videos in the coming shows. But I want to say, great sports commentary by you, Hannah.
Thanks, Rainan. I'm really glad that you showcased it. I'm really proud of it.
Thanks. Thanks so much for sports, Rainer. Yes, and still to come on this edition of Lubbock ISD Today, we end the show with Mr. Ward, as he calls it a timeout.
You won't want to miss that as we wrap up the show, but until then, we hope you enjoy more of our happy holiday videos from around our school district.
Love and you're supposed to spend more time with your family. Spend time with my parents. I'm excited. Happy holidays.
With Lubbock ISD TV, our fans can always check out the highlights of all of our shows and sports broadcasts by following our social media. Superfans can even get more access by watching live streams, video on demand, and more on our website and the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. And for the fanatics who still can't get enough of Lubbock ISD TV, we have uncut footage of Rainan punching buttons on the director's board just for you. Keep up to date with all the things Lubbock ISD TV on all of our platforms.
Wait, how long have you been here?
I'm really excited. We're gonna work on our first LAISD Today show. It's gonna be super good. I'm so excited to work with everybody. Everybody's gonna do awesome.
The show starts in 5 minutes. Hurry up! Faster, faster! Come on, go! Turn back and forth. You drop all of it, idiot!
You know what? If Dilly's getting yelled at us, let's go check out the script he's been working on.
Yeah. Only 5 words?
I can explain. I only had...
Welcome to Lubbock ISD Today!
Tell me what you want to be when you grow up. What do you want to be?
A teacher. I want to be a singer because I always sing at home and I love singing.
A police officer so I can save people's lives.
I want to be a police officer so I could go to the academy and then maybe if I pass the academy to become a police officer.
I want to be a pediatrician because they could work with little kids.
Welcome back to Lubbock ISD Today. This week on Time Out with Mr. Ward, we time out to say there's no pressure unless you're not prepared. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm glad you asked, right? You see, you heard Rainin talk about it earlier, but we're getting set to tip off our basketball coverage for this year. And I couldn't be more excited, and that's because we are prepared for this season. I have a line of students that are ready and eager to put the headset on this season and call games with me. And that's big time. Our program started allowing students to call football games a few years back, and last year they started trusting us with basketball games too. In fact, our first game with me and a student on the call, we had over 9,000 people watching us live. And like I said moments ago, there's no pressure because we're prepared. And over the past few weeks, we have been preparing for this next week where we have this game and then 16 games after that. So make sure you tune in next Friday as the students and staff of Lubbock ISD TV tip off our basketball coverage for the 2023-24 season. Now it's me, Mr. Ward, as I time out on Lubbock ISD Today. I'll send it back to our team of 4 at the desk.
Thanks so much, Mr. Ward. I think that's really cool. And that they allow students, it's like such a good learning experience.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up the show, Jaden Gonzalez joins us now with our final check of the weather.
My man, JG. This week's weather looks to be interesting.
Yeah, it does. Let's take a look at our graphic on Pro Presenter. Our 7-day forecast calls for some rain on the horizon, but for today, it will be sunny and breezy. This weekend, we see some wind gusts and cool temps on Saturday, and a slight warm-up on Sunday. The day is grabbing everyone's attention as it is at the end of next week. Chances of rain finally returns to the South Plains. The Weather Channel predicts close to 70% on Wednesday and Thursday. And so if you want rain, keep your fingers crossed for those 2 days.
Love to hear it. And we want to thank you so much for tuning in to the 13th episode of Lubbock ISD Today.
We'll be back to you next week bringing you more stories from across Lubbock ISD.
And we can't wait for that. But don't forget to have a wonderful week with all of your friends and loved ones. And we'll see you next time on Lubbock ISD Today.
Technical Director, Siriu Laura. Pro Presenter Operator, Aaron Gulick. Floor Director, Daniel Ball. At the desk, we have Jaden Eaton and Hannah Gilchrist. Weather with Jaden Gonzalez. Sports with Rainin Ford. And tuned in with Dilly Trevino. And a very special shout outs to Miss Roop's first-year students for helping us once again with the show.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
You know, it's no secret that we are extremely lucky to have everything we do here at the Lubbock ISD TV. But we wanted to take a moment and pause to say thank you. Thank you for watching this student-produced television right here on Lubbock ISD TV.